Hello, in this short video I'm gonna talk about the new upcoming Pokemon Grimmsnarl. It is a very unique typing in Dark and Fairy typing, and you'll be able to catch it in the wild or hatch it from X during the wild area event. I'll cut to the chase. It's not a Pokemon that's gonna be a big game changer, but while it's in this event, you may as well make the most out of it because you're going to need a lot of Excel candy to build both a Grimmsnarl from Master Premier, which has an interesting core breaking function. And for Great League, you don't want to use Grimmsnarl. You want to use the second in its evolution line, which is Morgrim. It has about a similar moveset, but it just has better stats. And most importantly, it has way more wins than Grimmsnarl does. For comparison, Grimmsnarl has the bulk of like a Greninja. Morgrim has the bulk of similar to a Talonflame. Both have a very similar moveset. You normally run Sucker Punch, Foul Play, and Play Rough on both of them. However, Grimmsnarl could also run Power Punch instead, just to boost up the Sucker Punch damage, but this only really works if you are an absolute degen. It honestly might work on Grimmsnarl just because of how fragile it is. In Master Premier or Ultra League, I would recommend Play Rough though, because you are a little bit bulkier and you're able to actually get to those charge stacks. Here's the catch though. Morgrim needs XL candy. If you want to go with a rank 1, you need a 3-15-15 of Morgrim. It goes to level 49 and a half. That is about 276 XL candy. You could also use a Hundo. The Hundo will need the least amount of XL candy, so Hatch IVs, they work. They're not the best Morgrim you'll get, but if you want to build one, you will still need 60 XL candy for Morgrim for the Great League, and that worst Morgrim will still be better than the best Grimmsnarl. So just an estimation. And then of course, if you want to use Grimmsnarl from Master Premier, you also need almost 300 XL candy. So make sure that when you're playing this event, you put on a Dark or Fairy type Mega Pokemon, Houndoom, Sableye, Gardevoir, whatever you can think of to help you gather those XL candy. And they'll probably be in X a little bit common as well. I'm kind of a noob, so I look on LeakDuck or I still need to look on LeakDuck for these kind of things. I just know that it spawns, so you'll be able to catch a good amount of them. So if I said earlier, why is it not that good or mandatory to have one? The reason why you do want it is because it has a very unique typing. Out of the top of my head, there's about no other Dark and Fairy type Pokemon. You double resist Dark. Fairy on its own is a very good defensive typing because steel attacks are usually pretty mediocre in Go, especially. There's only like Scissor that has that Bullet Punch, and Metagross in Master League, which generally runs Shadow Claw now, by the way. Dark, of course, Galarian Corsola, you name it, that all of that stuff is kind of good. So that's why I do think that this Pokemon could be very impactful, especially in restricted formats. And for Master Premier, you actually would core break something like Dragonite plus what's the homie called? Shadow Claw, Metagross, and of course Gyarados. Those three especially are pretty common. And Grimmsnarl core break stats. It's still a little bit iffy because it's not like Grimmsnarl has the best stat. It maxes out at about 3,200. And just for comparison, Grimmsnarl has about 5,000 stat product total. Dragonite has almost 8,000. So while you have that great coverage, it's still a pretty iffy Pokemon to use. I would recommend that you get the XL candy. You don't have to build it immediately, right? But just the day that it might become good, you better have one. If you're hunting a high IV Grimmsnarl, you're better off doing the Gigantamax battles during this event, which is going to be tough if you don't have a local community. I'm blessed to have both a bigger, noobier community plus a hardcore, smaller friend group, so I can do either way. Honestly, though, if you have even a bit of a community, even my local Stardust stackers who brag about having a lot of Stardust and no Pokemon build, even they have a Zacian almost maxed out. That's kind of all you need for Gmax nowadays. And matter of fact, Zacian is probably the best Pokemon to use here because of Steel type attacks being super effective into Grimmsnarl, making it a pretty doable Gmax. You get a lot of starters as well. I'm always poor, so it's great for me. Keep that in mind if you want to get like a Hundo or something. So that was all. I hope this was informative. Good luck with the wild area. Tough luck if you have to work or anything. I'm sorry. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.